Hello everyone, welcome back to Long Switch Academy. You are watching our course on Salesforce Flows for beginners. I'm your host Subham Prajapati. Today in this episode we will be talking about the visual interface of Salesforce Flows, which is Salesforce Flows Builder. By end of this episode you will get to know about what is Salesforce Flow Builder, and you should also be ready to create the Salesforce flows on your own. So stay tuned for detailed guide and step-by-step tutorial on navigating your way through Salesforce Flows Builder. So the big question here is, you wonder what is a Salesforce Flow Builder. If you are a bit familiar with Salesforce flows and you have worked with the Salesforce flows previously, then you have the idea what I'm talking about. But in case you are a complete fresher in the world of Salesforce flows, then you might wonder what is a Salesforce flow builder. Let me simplify that for you. So here I have just created a bullet point of explaining what is Salesforce Flow Builder, like kind of introduction to it. So as you can see in the bullet points that I had created, Salesforce Flow Builder is a powerful user-friendly tool that allows you to create flows with just the use of drag and drop. You wonder what do I mean by drag and drop? Meaning that for creating Salesforce flows, you don't require the coding skills. You don't have to code anything. You can just drag and drop elements on your Salesforce flows to build entire flow, which means the creation of complicated or complex business processes made easy with the Salesforce Flow Builder, so that anyone without coding skill can also start developing the flows and can take the advantage of this automation tool. I hope now you are pretty much clear about what is a Salesforce Flow Builder. To summarize the key points here, the Salesforce Flow Builder is nothing but a visual interface that allows us to drag and drop elements to build the flow, and it also enhances the development of complex business processes by supporting no coding tools, so that the people with different skill levels can also leverage the advantage of this automation tool. Now you wonder how do I find a Salesforce Flow Builder in Salesforce org? So you don't have to worry about it. We will be getting started on walking you through on Salesforce Flow Builder in the Salesforce org. So stay tuned till the very end of this episode. This is going to be really fun. You will learn the basic details and you will get the step-by-step guide on learning the development of Salesforce flows. So stay tuned. Now you must be wondering, where do I find this Salesforce Flow Builder? What are the steps that I need to take to get started developing my Salesforce flows, and what are the prerequisites to start developing the flows? So in this segment of the video, I will let you know the prerequisites and the steps that you need to follow to get started with the Salesforce flow development. So first thing first, all you need is a Salesforce developer org for yourself. It will be your playground where you can try out the different features of Salesforce flows, and where you can just practice and you can play around it. Secondly, all you need is the motivation to get started on this learning journey. So let's get started. First thing first, you have to log in into your Salesforce developer org, and it will look something like this. Once you log in into your developer org, you need to go to the setup by clicking this setup or settings icon on the top right segment. Click setup. This will take you to the setup page of your developer org, and from where you can navigate to the Salesforce Flow Builder screen. Let it load. In this setup, inside the or within this quick find box, you need to search for flows, and within the process automation you will get an option for flows. Click on that to open your flow builder. Once you select this option, you will be taken to this page. This is the home page of your flows within the Salesforce. This page will contain all your flows that you will be creating in Salesforce that you can see. This is the basic overview of it. Here you can see that it lists down all the types of flows that can be created. For example, in my developer org, some of the flows are auto created by Salesforce, which are listed here. And then you can see that it quickly highlights the flow label, process type, whether it is a Salesforce scheduler flow or Salesforce screen flow, evaluation flow, like that. Whether it is active, what was whether it is a template or not, whether it is managed package, part of a managed package, or non or unmanaged package, like that. So it gives you quick overview of all the available flows in your org, and you can utilize this section to arrange the specific flows the way you want it. There are some more options on this list control, that you can select the fields that you want to showcase to the like to your users when they land on this page. Even they, you can also create your own new list view to tailor the number of flows returned in a particular list view suitable for your business needs. It is nothing but a basic list view that Salesforce provides in all other objects such as accounts, contacts, or opportunities. So basically, it is nothing but a home of all your flows within the Salesforce. And from here, you can either pick or open any of the existing flows, or if you wish, you can create a new flow for yourself. So that is pretty much like the home ground of flows within the Salesforce, and this is the center where all your flows will reside. Now let's start creating one new flow, just to go through the Salesforce Flow Builder and see what it has to offer and what are its capabilities and what are the components or tools that we get as part of it. Let's explore. I'm really excited about it, and I hope the same for you, that you are equally excited to embark on this new learning journey. In case you have any suggestions or thoughts for us, do let us know in the comment section below. We will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Let's get started. So I'll click on this new flow button to launch the flow builder for me. So as soon as you click on it, you notice that flow builder is rendering for us. It will take a couple of seconds to load. Okay, it has loaded, and once you are started creating, since we have started creating a new flow, it asks what kind of flow we want to create, whether we want to create it from scratch, that we will define all the elements of the flow, or do we need to use a pre-existing template which will give us a pre-configured flow which will have certain elements, and we can build our process on top of that. So since we are just building it initially, or since we are learning it, we'll go with the start from scratch option. And just let's take a moment to go through this user template thing also, so that you get an idea what I'm talking about. When I select user template, it will give me all the different set of available pre-configured flows for different purposes. Here it is the entire list. You can see, we see the purpose of Salesforce is giving this pre-built template, that it speed up the development and it tackles the common business scenarios for which the flows are used, so that with the minimal effort, the admins or the what I say, people who use Salesforce can get started with the flows, and they can start building their amazing business processes. So here you can see these are the all options, and they also categorize these all options into subcategories such as screen flows. Like there are some template for the screen flow, as you can see here. There are some template for auto launched flows, for contact request flow, like that. You can explore all the available categories, and the interesting part is this is all available in the Salesforce developer org, so that you can explore it the way you want it. You can play around it, you can take your time, and you can learn at your own speed. How cool is that? Now even they also provide some search features that you can search for certain templates. For example, here if there is any template matching with your search term, it will be returned back. So it is quite interesting. I'll go back, since we are building the flow for the first time. I would rather try to create it from scratch. So I'll choose this option. I'll hit next. On the next screen, once you have selected the which way you want to go through or go with while for creating a flow, whether it is a whether you want to create it from scratch or you would like to use some pre-configured template, it is up to you. But once you make that decision, they ask you to define the type of flow, like which type of flow you would like to create. In the upcoming episodes of this course, we will come up with the one of the episodes where we will talk about all these different types of flows, and at which point of time which flow type should be used, and what are the criteria that you need to consider while making this decision. For the demo purposes, I'll go with the screen flow, but these are all the available flow types, such as screen flow, record triggered flow, scheduled triggered flow, platform event triggered flow, auto launch flow, record triggered orchestration. Like that, there are so many types of flows, and trust me, they all have their specific use cases, and it is equally advisable, and it is equally important to make an informed decision while you decide the type, or while you choose the type of your for your flow while automating certain business processes. So it is really recommended that you read through the details, the pros and cons of all these types of flows, and then make the decision for your next automation process. So I'll choose screen flow and I'll hit this create button. So we are creating a flow from scratch of type screen flow. Here, this is our flow, like Salesforce Flow Builder. It is your kind of whiteboard where you can drag and drop the elements and just start building your flow. Let's explore it. Here, these are the elements. This option allows you to select the elements from your flow, but since we don't have any elements yet, there is nothing to choose. So I'll unselect this, and if I click on this connection between these two elements, start and end, it will give me an like plus sign, which means I can add element to my my flow. So here I'll click on add, and you can see that it gives us choices that what you want to add as part of your step in the flow. Before we do that, we can also look at all the available tools available as part of Salesforce Flow Builder. In order to do that, you can click on this toggle toolbox button, and here it will showcase to you all the tools that are available in your flow. Since this is the very first time we are like developing this flow, there is nothing added to the flow yet, therefore we are not seeing anything yet. So let's try building or adding some elements. As part of this demo, I will be creating a small screen flow where I will ask user to enter the first name and the last name for a contact, then insert that contact in the database or in the Salesforce. So for that, we will need a screen. Here there are so many options. You can see that you can add different elements such as interaction element. The elements here are grouped in different categories. The first category that you see here is interaction, which means this category will contain all the elements that helps with the user interaction with the flow, or maybe some automated interaction different on the dependent on the different results in the or different decisions in the flow. So here for the interaction we have three options, like screen, that you can display screen to your users where you may ask for some input of the information, or you may display some messages for the users so that they know what's happening within the flow. Then you can use some actions, such as you can call some apex action from the backend to get the data or to update the data, or even you can use this action element to trigger the notifications such as email alerts to notify what's happening within the flow. Then, as you know, the business processes can be very complicated that you are trying to automate through flows, and they can be large enough in the size to maintain. In that case, you can divide your larger flows into smaller chunks, and like you can create a subflow for each of your segment of the flow, then call that subflow whenever needed. So for that you can use the subflow element. Then we have a group called logic, which deals with or which contains the element that we use for logical implementation within the flow. Like if we have to make some decisions, we have to loop through some data, or we may have to assign values to the variables depending on different decisions, then we will use these logic elements. There are so many, such as assignment, decision, loop, transform, collection sort, collection filter. They are their names are pretty self-explanatory that what they do. It is basically they help us you to build the logic within the flow. After that, we have a category for data that works or that allows you to deal with the data within the flow. As I said, for example, if we are building screen flow, we might be asking some information from the user, then we will be processing it, and at the end we might be and we will be committing that data to the database. So for that we will be using data elements, such as like some common data elements that they provide, like create records, update records, get records from the database, delete records, or the rollback records, basically CRUD operation. So this is pretty much about the different tools or different elements that are available for us to use depending on different purposes within the Salesforce Flow Builder. I hope you are following along. If something is unclear to you, do ask us in the comment section below. We will definitely try to resolve your query as soon as possible, and I hope you're getting the idea about this flow builder. So that is pretty much it about the basic overview of Salesforce Flow Builder, and I hope you were following along with this tutorial and you are getting the idea about what the Salesforce Flow Builder is.